Hi there, everyone. My name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. Today, we are talking about Danzig's self titled debut album. Oh, released in 1988, I definitely did not buy this album until probably 1994, 95. Might have even been as late as 96. I know Danzig 4 had already come out at this point by the time I bought this one. I got into Danzig a little bit late because I didn't get a lot of exposure to Danzig until, Danzig had been around for a while. And this album I picked up purely because it had Mother on it. It was really the only song I really knew at the time. And I think it was one of the cheaper albums at the time, too, price wise. Let's just get into this one, okay? So, if you don't know who Glenn Danzig is, he was the lead vocalist of the Misfits. He left the Misfits, started a band called Sam Hain. Sam Hain didn't do a whole hell of a lot, like one or two albums tops, I think. I know I've listened to one. It was nothing special. I borrowed it off a friend. Moving on, he goes solo, and so he doesn't have to keep changing the band name because a band member's coming and going. He named the band after himself, called it Danzig, and gave it cool skull artwork like such. Danzig is like this crooner metal kind of thing, almost kind of going on. There's definitely like an Elvis like notion in it. It's like kind of typo negative and Elvis had a child, you would get Danzig. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that analogy. As weird as it is, yeah, typo negative meets Elvis. Album opens up with Twist a Cane. Twist a Cane, good tune, opens up the album well, lets you know what you're in for. I am going to be completely honest with you as I'm going into this album. It's going to sound like I'm not overly huge on this album. I love listening to this album. I love throwing this album on. I like listening to it and throwing it on as an album. Individually with songs, I'm not huge on the individual songs. There's a couple on here I really dig and get into, and a couple that have ended up on mixtapes, but that's a kind of really just kind of a couple. Twist a Cane, good tune. I like it musically. It sets up the vibe. It sets up everything you need to know about what you're about to experience with this album. The darkness, you can almost kind of hear that they're in a dark room, maybe got some candles lit up, really exploring the demonic side, the evil side of doom and gloom metal, almost gothy. It really is. It's almost goth metal. The difference being goth tended to sound more vampiric. These guys a little more satanic, if that's how we're going to split it up. Okay? Maybe a little more Wiccan metal. Alright. Let's get back to this. Okay. Not of This World. Good tune. Such a cool tune that it even gets a shout out in the X-Force series. Phantom X makes a comment when they're on a place. He goes, "Man, this kind of reminds me of that Danzig song, Not of This World," So, it's it does stand out enough that even the comic book writers knew to put it in there. Really cool tune, really kind of digs in, really grabs a hold of you at this point. The next track, I love Mother, don't get me wrong, I love Mother, but the next track, probably my favorite song off this album, which is She Rides. First off, it has got that slow, sultry, sexy, you could easily picture it being played in a strip club with a chick dancing to it. And in the days when metal was hot in strip clubs, and yes, those days happened, I'm sure that this song got used because it's just that sleek and sexy. This is one of those songs that has a lot of influence on me as a drummer. The drums aren't spectacular. There's nothing, whoa about the drums. It's just to hear metal played out the way it was on here. Like, it's not often you hear one metal slowed down, like when you get that nice slow metal. That was a Sabbath thing. But the use of the ride in this one, like it really, this is one of those ones where I say Typo Negative meets Elvis. Definitely kind of has that vibe huge on this one. It just is really, really awesome tune, man. And it's all the drums. It is. It's the drums, the way the drums are just kind of moving that groove through there nice and slowly. With a little side step, Okay. Next up is Soul on Fire, which after she rides, what song was that? Am I Demon? I don't mind Am I Demon. It's not a bad tune. It's kind of a shouty, yelly tune. Kind of definitely shows a little more of Glenn's older punk kind of days where, Misfits especially, that old black and white cinema really influencing subject matter, raw vocals, a lot of aggression. Mother. Well, thanks to Guitar Hero, everybody should know this one, man. Mother is a great tune. The simplicity of it is fantastic. It's one of those songs that always talked about doing as a cover and never actually gotten around to doing. Really, just the simplicity of it. It's one of those songs, it's like Paranoid, You just kind of can't help but get into it when it's going, no matter how many times you have heard this damn song. That's followed by Possession. Once again, feels a little more old school, Misfitsy, better production on it. I dig it. I get into it. It's a good, enjoyable song. End of Time. End of Time, I like it when the album's playing. I don't think about it for 5 seconds when the album's not playing. The Hunter, good tune. Great kind of vibe to it. That's about where I go with that. And then the album finishes with Evil Thing. And same thing, great tune. My buddy Drew and I often have discussions about how we feel about first albums. And he very rarely likes a band's first album. There's some bands where I really do dig the first album, and sometimes I think it's their best album, or one of their best albums. This is not the case with this one. Thrall Demon Sweat Live, way better than this. No. Yeah. Maybe. Danzig 3 is way the hell better than this. This one's got a couple of choice tracks, and like I said, it's a really good album to listen to when you want to listen to a full album. You want to get in there, you want to get in that dark doom and gloom kind of place. This is the album you want to take you there, man. Warm up with a little Danzig 1, move on to a little Typo Negative, probably Bloody Kisses. Just kind of move on along that corridor of dark gloom. Yeah. Anyways, folks, those are my thoughts. Those are my views. Those are my opinions. Let me know what you think. That's what the comment section is for. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. Link to Patreon. Peace, love, take care.